Alright everybody, thanks for joining me for another video. So I'm just running some errands here. I'm going to drop something off for someone. Decided to make it a kind of faster run, so I'm still slow enough where we go on the trail as well. So, see that speed camera? It's hard to tell, but I don't know if you notice it's open. That speed camera was vandalized so much before Ford decided to just cancel all the speed cameras in the province. It's almost like every time they fix that camera, maybe a couple of days later, it's like toppled over, it's in a different place, it's broken, or that camera had it. Anyways, so slightly faster run than how I would usually ride. But I'm taking the trails because the trails are just more fun, generally speaking, despite the foot traffic, which I always slow down for. Here I was just testing my braking, so I caught up to a pretty high speed really quickly, and then I just slammed on the brakes, just testing. This was in September, so keep in mind I only started riding in April. So I'm still testing a lot of things, but at the same time I'm riding at a level where I can have fun on the wheel now. So you're gonna see in this ride I did quite a few jumps, you know, kind of exploring, seeing what I like, what I don't like. I think I will enjoy some jumps from time to time, like smaller jumps, so nothing crazy, not like off-roading type jumps or like dirt track or BMX bike type jumps, but you know, little bumps in the road and stuff. I'll take a little bonk or a little jump off of it, but nothing crazy. But you know, just trying to have some fun, right, on the ride. So one of the things I wanted to talk about in this video is just accessories / gear for your wheel. So you see a little more jumps there, but excuse me, but I don't know, in the short space of time that I've been riding, and I think I'm like this with everything, to be honest. I'm a photographer as well, and with my photography, I love dirt trails. And just the aftermath of you passing by, so whether it be dirt trails, leaves blowing around, whatever, I love to see it. I always look back for it in the videos. But anyways, I'm trying to error so many different things because you know, I'm trying to always slow down for water, but I have noticed that water doesn't really get into your motor or your axle, or like where your axle and your bearings would be, very easily. You would literally have to be riding through like torrential downpour. But anyways, that's a story for another day. But yeah, I try to error so many different things in the short space of time I've been riding EUC, and I think I'm like this with everything. So when I was riding E-skate the previous year, it was the same thing. I was always buying things, just trying to figure out what I liked, what I didn't like. So wherever possible, I want to help people not have to do what I did, not have to spend so much money, just to figure out. You have a bunch of stuff lying around, right? Since you have a bunch of money lying around, you can no longer spend the things you actually want to spend it for. So, if you do have any questions whatsoever, just let me know in the comments down below. I don't mind answering if I can. And if I can't, I'll just let you know I can't, or I'll try to find the answer. I have this, I was going to say, bad tendency to go way beyond, do way too much when somebody asks you a question. But not a problem at all, because again, I'm just trying to help everybody else, you know, save people time and money. So, love this bridge. It's a nice view. It's a nice change of pace from the whole ride. And I love jumping these slats that they think is supposed to prevent you from biking over it. So right here I get a phone call from my wife. I'm just telling her bad time I'm out. I'm writing because I remember I'm trying to make this a fast ride. So I don't want to be distracted on the phone. I also didn't want to stop, so. But yeah, PS really like the techno, trance, EDM vibes for riding. It's actually changed my whole taste in music altogether. I kind of listen to this sort of music a lot now, like mainly now. But I think riding EUC or PEVs in general is like this, where I mean it becomes part of your identity, right? You go from I think being a normal person to now I ride EUC every chance I get. So that's definitely been me, like a bit of an addiction. Once again, I'm kind of like this. Unfortunately, addictive personality. I will, if I'm into something, I'm really into it. So I'll spend a lot of time. Thankfully, that kind of played into like learning to ride pretty quickly. So when I started riding in April, I rode. So I got it on like a Monday. I rode to work on the Thursday. I did a group ride on the Friday. And so the first 2 days that I actually owned it, I spent quite a bit of time. I spent like 3 hours just practicing the first day. Didn't feel comfortable enough to ride. I spent another 2.5 hours the second day. I thought I could ride to work, but I still wanted to make sure because I ain't trying to get hurt on this thing, right? The third day, practiced for about 2 hours and was like, I'm riding to work today. That's exactly what I did. But yeah, slightly addictive personality. But at the same time, it's worth it because thank God, to UC's, we realized it just made sense to get rid of the second car, because I was riding this thing every day. Thankfully, we had great weather. Even days where it would rain, would never rain when I'm going to work or when I had stuff to do. So I would always just ride. So it was like, what's the point of having a second car, right? Where this is an equivalent or better mode of transport. So anyways, more jumps coming right up. So again, the trail is more fun. As you can see, there's just quite a few opportunities for jumps in this little space of time we've been riding here. And that's why I like this trail. It gets very repetitive, I'm gonna lie. I need to change the scenery, so this coming year, I'm definitely gonna be trying to look for new trails, new things to find, new places to see around the city. And maybe even when the city gets boring, going out of the city. So last year I was supposed to do a few rides. One or two people that I had linked up with, and I was hoping to do some rides with them, and it never really came to pass. But this coming season is definitely coming to pass. And I say season, I actually have been riding throughout winter. So yes, this is not a video from winter, but I've been riding throughout winter as long as it's not too cold. Because from the little research I've done, it's not advisable to ride when it's too cold, because these things recharge your battery when you brake, right? So I'm sure it's not going to be any major battery damage, but it's still going to be battery damage. Quite frankly, I ain't rich. I ain't looking to have to replace things I don't need to replace. It's one thing to buy a few accessories for like 10, 20 bucks to try it out to see if it makes your riding better, but to have to replace a battery pack ain't sounding fun at all. So that is not something I'm trying to do. But yeah, like I was saying though, next season, obviously gonna be riding the trail a lot because this part of this trail is a major part in getting into downtown. Like if you want to get into downtown on the trails, this is the trail from where I live. So I'm gonna be seeing this trail a whole lot, even if I'm just riding for fun, almost going anywhere. Up until here, it's almost mandatory to ride. But I'm definitely going to be looking for other places to ride, other trails to see, maybe other parts of this trail. There's a lot of branches to this trail that either lead to more off-road things or just different neighborhoods. So I'm definitely going to be checking that stuff out next year. Hopefully with some friends. One of my co-workers who, fingers crossed, like he will still kind of be my co-worker, but fingers crossed he's not my co-worker. I'll talk more about it maybe if it comes to pass, but yeah, one of my co-workers who happens to live pretty close to me. One of my co-workers who happens to live pretty close to me, I helped him get a wheel. He's part of the reason I have this wheel. He's part of the reason I ride EUC at all. Because when I was riding my e-skate, he kept telling me about EUC. They kept talking about EUC. Then one day I saw two guys in the Toronto group pass me when I was on my e-skate. It was a Backfire, Z-Lot. Jeez, I can't believe I forget already. But it's not the X, it's the one below that, G2. No, G2. But yeah, I'm going to max speed, which is allegedly like 51, 52 kilometers per hour. And these guys caught up to me. So I'm in the bike lane. This guy's caught up to me on the road, slowed down, hailed me out, right? You know, they acknowledged me, and then they took off. I was like, yo, literally the next day I got a EUC. Never look back, but James, buddy, you are a huge reason as to why I ride EUC now. I can't thank you enough for that. So I helped him get a wheel. I'm really, really happy for him and the wheel that we got him, because great condition, great wheel. It's an OG Sherman. Excellent price. And yeah, so the weather has definitely not permitted him to like learn to ride though, because whilst I would go out when it's like minus whatever and there's a little bit of snow on the road, it's not good if you're going to be learning, right? So I haven't really been able to link up with him. As you can see, the speed I came into this parking lot with, you know I was going for that jump. That's a really nice jump if you could hit it with some speed. But then I saw the old guy and the dog, and I was like, ah, shit. Anyways, back to James. So yeah, I haven't been able to link up with James yet to help him get riding sooner rather than later. Maybe have his trajectory be similar to mine. But the weather is getting better. It's January now. I know this video is super old, super late, but it's January now. We have some nice weather next week, some warmer weather. So hopefully I can link up with him, teach him a thing or two, or just observe as he's learning and get him riding sooner rather than later. It'd be nice to take him on the trail, show him around, show him the ropes, introduce him to everyone in their group, kind of thing. Yeah, you know, if he thinks it's necessary, eventually he's going to upgrade, you know, help him out with that too. But yeah, so that's what I was saying though. So this trail, I'm not going into downtown, but like I was saying, this trail It's an integral part into moving around the city. So most people who ride PEV and they head up my direction, like they know this trail is linked to everything. Right? So I've learned a few different routes to get to where I'm going here, and this is the most fun one. It's about a 5-minute detour. But it's worth it. You're about to see why real soon. About to see why real soon. Basically, it's a big jump that I discovered. Maybe the first time or the second time that I rode here, I was like, yo, I need to hit this. So, yeah, this guy, I didn't even notice I was coming. So everything like you see is this quiet, despite my wheel, like my knobby tire sounding like small ease, but people still don't hear it sometimes. Especially if you're riding slower, people will not hear it. Brake light on, no hazards though, so it's like, I don't know if you're gonna pull out on me, so I'm pumped. This is the jump I was talking about. I saw nobody was around, and I was like, yes, let's hit that. So I hit the small one and then did this big one. Not even gonna lie, this video did not do that jump justice. I felt like I was flying, but like it felt when I was in the air. And no, keep in mind, I haven't done any like major jumps, so you know, go to the BMX track or whatever and do those like big jumps. I haven't done any of those. I've been to a skate park or two and done some jumps. That jump just now, because of the speed I was going and everything, that felt like crazy. It felt a little bit scary, to be honest, because I was pretty high in the air. The video did not do it justice. I jumped pretty far forward too. But it felt great. It felt fun. Definitely a jump that I try to hit every time I take that trip. Alright, so thanks so much for joining me for this video. I was kind of speeder into work, kind of not speeder because I was on the trail. But yeah, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you staying with me, and I'll see you in the next video.